Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead, click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. We are simulcasting Facebook and YouTube, so get to know one another and be kind to one another. Be most of all respectful to one another. I am going to give a few shout outs to the early birds, and then I'm going smooth in, fam. We got a lot to talk about. I mean, the docket is heavy today. We got Chris in the building. What up, Mobile, Alabama? Boston man, grace and peace. Jessica, what's up, Jessica Olsen? International Green, what's up? What it do? Marie Harris, good afternoon. Thickness say, I left AT&T too. My new Wi-Fi name is Fug. Hold on, let me do this properly. I ain't got no problem with that. What up, Connie Hodge? What it do? What it do? I see Tawana Sanders, Chet Perry, Dart, Dexter, Joe, what's up? What's up? Justin, China Carter in the building. Okay, fam, I'm going in because like I said, we got a lot to cover today, a lot to cover. A lot of interesting news. And we got to start off with AT&T. Let me back up. We got to start off with weak-ass AT&T. That's right, I said it. AT&T, fam. What a disgrace. AT&T announced it will eliminate all diversity, equity, and inclusion programs as it seeks approval for a major wireless spectrum purchase, aligning with the new regulatory pressure. The move reflects a broader rollback of DEI across corporate America. For Black communities, these programs have long been tied to access, accountability, and representation in spaces where opportunity has not always been equal. Their removal raises critical questions about who is protected and how equity is addressed moving forward. Let me just straight up say, fam, AT&T are the cowards we thought they were. AT&T are the same cowards that all of these other corporate DEI companies who have been rolling back are. They're all part of the same game. And if you trace it, if you go back far enough, you'll find some lynching in their history. So you can't be surprised that they're rolling back on their DEI programs. The only reason why most of them got on board in the first place is because of the pressure. So you pressure them on one side, they flip. You pressure them on the other side, they flip. They ain't got no backbone. These companies are slaves to the dollar. They're slaves to their stockholders. They have no backbone. There are a few companies out there who said, I don't care what Donald Trump says, we're not rolling back DEI. In fact, we're going to amp it up. So salute to those companies. But you cowards like AT&T, ain't no love for you. No love for you at all. And I'm going to tell you something else, fam. A lot of these companies only have DEI programs so it can look like they're inclusive. but they really aren't inclusive in the first place. All of them fall short of the DEI goals in the first place. It's all smoke and mirrors. They do DEI to get the pressure off them. So when you look at them, they can say, yeah, look, and then all of them got they one or two black people that they put in front of everybody. See, here's our black representative right here. Look, and the black representative always like, hey, it's a great place to be, you know, AT&T is good to me. Yeah. I don't trust none of them. I bet you if you go and look at AT&T's hierarchy, their executive branch of employment, I guarantee you won't find but a speck or two black faces. We know how they get down. All you got to do is look at a company's racial makeup, and that'll tell you everything you need to know about the company. Look at their racial makeup. Specifically, look at their racial makeup in the executive positions. Look at the executive position racial makeup. That'll tell you everything you need to know about a company. I don't give a damn that they have 30,000 black people working in subordinate positions, in entry-level positions. I'm looking at management. I'm looking at the people who getting the big bucks, who running the show, who's calling the shots. That's what really matters. Yeah, that's what really matters. So that's how you show me what you're about. That's how you show me what you're about. You don't show me what you're about with symbolism. These are just optics. DEI for all of these companies, most of these companies, it was only optics. It was the banana in the tailpipe. It was never meant to be progressive. It was never meant to be diverse. It was never meant to be equal or inclusive. It was always, yo, let's put this program together and just have this here. Hey, let's throw such over there. Hey, you handle that. And I bet you $1 to a donut, the executives, while at AT&T, when they thought about the program that they had, I bet they resented having to put it together in the first place. They resented. Most of them reneged on those promises to BLM. They resented. I mean, they reneged on their promises to fund all of these black initiatives. They reneged left and right. Now, here's what I would do if I was part of many of these organizations. I would sue their asses. Yeah, that's right. I would sue them. Well, based on what? Well, based on projected income. You told us that you were going to do this, and this, and this, and that funds, and we were counting on those funds. And that's why we did this, and this. And now we can't do this, and this. Pay up, sucker. Yeah, man. I would file suit against all of their asses. Every single one of them. Yeah. Go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money. AT&T is garbage. And here's the thing, fam. The other companies ain't much better. So if you try to switch, and they know it, you can switch, but you're gonna jump out of the pot into the fire, because the rest of them ain't no better. All of them have the same type of corporate structure. All of them have the same type of employment practices. All of them have the same racial makeup at the top. All of them. That tells you what they're about. I don't give a damn that you got a program called Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. I can look at your staff. I can look at your employment records, your employment record, and I can tell if you're diverse or not, if you're inclusive or not, if you're equal or not. AT&T is garbage, dumpster juice. Yeah. So you can try to move to T-Mobile, you're going to get much of the same. Much of the same. Go to Verizon, you're going to be, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Now, I'm going to be saying that. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yeah, fam. Yeah, so yeah, you can switch providers, but you're gonna jump out of the fire straight. I mean, you're gonna jump out of the pan straight into the fire. Yeah, so yeah, switching carriers ain't gonna do a whole lot. I tell you what needs to be done is a full press. See, in order to hold these companies accountable, to hold their feet to the fire, you have to be consistent. You have to keep your foot on the gas. You can't ever let up, because the moment you let up, they're going to be gone. They're going to let up. You kind of got to rock. You got to kind of like move like ADL does. They keep their foot on the gas. They keep their foot on people's necks. They wake up every day, all day, looking for the troublemakers. They're looking. They're watching. They're waiting on somebody to get out of pocket. They're going to not only make them pay up and stroke a check to the foundation, they're going to make them fools apologize. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Y'all better better go over to Costco and tell Costco to come up with some type of phone plan. Yeah, go to Costco. Costco would probably kill it. A Costco phone? Oh man, yeah, they probably kill the game. Yeah. We need to move accordingly when it comes to these companies reneging on DEI. They all signed up. Ain't nobody put a gun to their head and told them to initiate DEI in their programs. Nobody said that. Nobody told them. Nobody forced them to do that. They volunteered. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. Yeah, sounds like a great idea. Most of them haven't paid up a fraction of the money. I mean, they've only paid a fraction of the money that they agreed to pay. If I'm any one of those organizations out there that they promise money to, I am going to sue to have them to pay up. I'm going to sue to have them, don't play with my name, don't play with my organization, don't play with my people. Pay up, sucker. Yeah. So once again, fam, you can switch if you want to, but you're only going to be jumping out of the pan into the fire. All these companies are bending the knee. All of these companies are bending the knee to get their deals approved. All people had to do was vote for "We tried to tell y'all." All they had to do is vote for "We tried to tell y'all." That's all you had to do. Vote for "We tried to tell y'all." Nah, y'all thought 2025 was a hoax. Y'all straight up let Trump lie to y'all like I don't know what you're talking about. 2025, 2025, I don't know what that is. What you talking about, man? I ain't never heard of my first time hearing about it. That nigga went in the first day in office. His first day in office and started 2025, the 2025 initiative. He started starting with pardoning every single January 6th rider. Well, I don't know if he pardoned every single one of them, but I know he pardoned most of them at least. He started right there. Keep in mind, he's the law and order president. Keep in mind, they killed police officers. Police officers were killed at January 6th, on January 6th. They were killed. And he pardoned the killers. But let somebody, let a regular person go out here, let some black person kill a police officer anywhere in the U.S. He gonna rot in jail. He'd never be pardoned. Even if the police ran up on him and called him N-word, slapped his mama, kicked his daughter in the butt, DDT'd his son, SA'd his grandmama, stole his car, came back and rammed it into the house, set the house on fire, and called everybody in the house that was dying, struggling for their life, the N-word, turned on the neighborhood and oozed the neighborhood. He'd be like, he killed a police officer. No, we can't have that. No way possible we're going to let that guy. Let him out of jail. Whoever let him out of jail, career be over. Political career be over. The double standards, y'all. The double standards, that's what run me hot. AT&T is dumpster juice. But don't get it twisted. The rest of them ain't no better. Let's take a look at this 50 Cent Dame Dash beef that's going on right now. 50 and Dame don't like each other. They don't like each other at all. They do not like each other. Dame Dash says 50 Cent is tearing down another black man by serving as the executive producer of the upcoming Diddy, well, not it's no longer upcoming, but it's out now, the Diddy documentary series that's on Netflix. This is what Dame said. Never trust a black man that will make a documentary tearing down another black man for a white man. That's nasty work. That's what Dame Dash said about 50 Cent. Okay. So what do y'all think about that, fam? Are y'all who y'all rocking with? Y'all rocking with Dame or y'all rocking with 50? Give me a thumbs up if you're rocking with Dame. 2 thumbs up if you're rocking with 50. Let's see where you at with that. Let me see where y'all at. Let me see what y'all thinking over here. Let me get over here and see what y'all thinking. Let's see. 2 thumbs up, Justin. Justin say 50. Ajax 50. Tie up. 1. Dame. Joan Dame. Or John. Yeah, Joan Dame. Quentin 50. JC Dame. Mo Dame. Thumbs up only. Don't give me no words, fam. Thumbs up is easier for me to just look at the thumbs up. Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Kevin rocking with 50. Let's see. China Carter, Dame, MC Dame, Gene 50, Tracy 50, Marcus 50, Carol Dame, Linda Dame, Rasta, Blaster 50, Diddy 50, Nat 50, Ike 50, Tangy 50, Arsenal Dame, Mo Dame, Ayala 50, looks like that was 50, Sandra Dame, Freddie Dame. Y'all seem to be about split on this. Y'all seem to be about split. My thoughts on this. So Ain't no secret that 50 and Diddy are enemies. But let's take a look at 50, the businessman, first. 50, the businessman, is one of those type of dudes. If he have a story, he got relationships, whatever, with people that's got a compelling story, he's probably going to try to figure out how to monetize it. And him being an executive producer, this is right in line. This is right on code with his brand, right? As a businessman, this is on code with his brand. But on a personal level, 50 and Diddy don't like each other. 50 has made it abundantly clear that he despised Diddy. I don't even know what Diddy did to him personally, but he despises Diddy. Now, for whatever reason they have their beef, I'm going to put it like this, fam. Some of y'all ain't going to like this, but I'll take my chances. I would probably do the same thing to an enemy. I'm not saying that particular thing. Like, I'm not saying I would go out my way to make a documentary about him. I don't know if I would do all of that. But I gotta respect a man who is willing to totally destroy his enemy. I believe that you have to do that. I believe in kicking people when they're down. I'm talking about my enemy. If I have an enemy, when I get them down, I am going to stomp them out. I am going to make them read these Nikes. I am going to do everything I can to destroy them. I'm going to make sure that they never come back, never even think remotely about trying me again in life. I am going to stop them. I am going to do everything I can to destroy them once I make contact. So on a personal level, I would do the same thing. On a personal level, if I got an enemy, a real enemy, I'm gonna crush him. I am the first chance. When I get a chance, the first opportunity I get a chance to destroy an enemy, I am going to totally destroy that enemy. I'm gonna take all the fight out of the enemy. I'm gonna take all of the life out of my enemy. Now, some of y'all saying, man, that's cold-blooded, Willie D, man. Why you would do that? Why you gonna do that, man? Why do that? Why do that? Think about it, fam. That's the art of war. Why not? I don't know if some of y'all noticed, but we're really at war. And this is what's been happening to us for hundreds of years. It's people who are at war with us and we don't even know we're at war. And that's why they do what they do to us. They hate us for real. They have identified us as their enemy. And this is why they do so much stuff, so much diabolical stuff, to try their best to make sure that we never rise. We never rise. That is what they do. Think about what I'm saying, fam. Some of y'all be thinking that all of this stuff is just happenstance. You know, you think it's a coincidence, man. It's like, oh man, you know, things are good, better. We're just gonna pray. We're gonna pray on it. I'm gonna pray. 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 I'm gonna pray on it. Let's pray and pray and pray and pray. Man, do you understand that we are echoing our great parents' prayers? It's time for a new prayer, man. It's time for a new prayer. Yeah. Because we're not listening. We're not paying attention. We're at war. Anytime you got people riding by, just rolling through, arbitrarily lynching folks just because of their skin color, running up in their homes and robbing them, stealing their inventions, RAPing them, destroying families, breaking families up, selling them, sending them to different places they'll never cross paths again. You got people feeding people to alligators, babies to alligators, essaying little girls in front of their daddies, knocking people's teeth out their mouth, forcing them to eat so they can force them to continue working in the fields, so they can have some strength to go out and work in the fields. Redlining, purposely making sure that they remain in the underclass by refusing to give them governmental loans so that they can buy homes and build generational wealth. Reneging on the land that they were supposed to give them, but they had no problem giving everybody else land. Even to this day, refusing to give Black folks loans when people come from other countries and they give them a loan just like that. Creating a school to prison pipeline, bringing dope into our communities, distributing dope in our communities, dropping guns off in our communities so that we can self-destruct, knowing that we're going to fall for the banana tail in the banana pipe because people are hungry, people are starving, people are desperate. So we'll drop these drugs off and we'll let them destroy each other. And as they destroy each other, we'll lock up the ones who survive. And the women and the children have no choice but to come to us begging just to be fed. Man, they've been playing us the whole time, playing us with welfare. Hey, get that man out of the house. I'll give you a little low check. I know you're trying to eat. You know you want to feed those kids, don't you? Well, get them out of the house and I'll feed the kids. I'll feed the kids. I'll give you some money to feed the kids. And I'll also give you some shelter. I'll give you a break on your rent. Get him out, get the man out of the house. We at war, y'all. We are at war. They have the foot on the neck mentality. And so when you're at war, that's what war is. 50 has declared war on Diddy. He has declared war on Diddy. And he's not easing up. So as a soldier, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that. I got some other things that I might do, but I wouldn't have done that. I don't think so. I don't think I would have done that. But I gotta respect it. I gotta respect it. Yeah, fam. Oh, it's diabolical. It is diabolical. But this is how you deal with an enemy. You crush your enemies. And when your enemy is down, you stomp your enemy. You kick your enemy. You make sure your enemy never rise again. That's how you deal with enemies. I know some of y'all don't like that, especially y'all Christians. But I'm just saying, an enemy is an enemy. And I think once we actually get that mentality that an enemy is an enemy and start dealing with some of these external enemies, some of these other people who are our enemies, and we start dealing with them in that type of manner, we're going to be all right. Because they're going to respect it. Because they now know that we'll go to any length to protect ours. We'll go to any length to defend ours. Once they know that, everything's going to be all right. That's right, Sylvia. show no mercy. So I get it. I totally get it. Family, we got this situation going on with Governor Gavin Newsom and Halle Berry. Halle do not like Governor Gavin Newsom. Why? I mean, seems like all right guy, you know. I mean, what's the problem, Halle? Well, Halle, she went scorched earth on Gavin Newsom during Wednesday's New York Times Deal Book Summit, calling out the California governor for vetoing a menopause bill while also crapping on his aspirations to potentially become the next president. Oh yeah, fam, she talked bad about Gavin. The Academy Award-winning actress took to the stage at the NYT event to give a speech about menopause, during which she pointed out Newsom had vetoed California's menopause bill 2 years earlier in a row. Halle did not hold back, fam. She told the packed crowd, that's okay, because he's not going to be governor forever. And with the way he has overlooked women, half the population, by devaluing us in midlife, he probably should not be our next president either. Oh, she wasn't done, y'all. She wasn't done. If Newsom had passed the bill, it would have required certain health plans and insurers to cover the cost of evaluation and treatment from premenopause or perimenopause and menopause symptoms. It would also have incentivized or required doctors who have more than 25% women under 65 as patients to complete medical education coursework on menopause care. After Halle finished her speech, it just so happened Newsom was the next guest speaker to appear on stage with host Andrew Ross Sorkin, who interviewed the governor about the charges the Democratic Party needs, the changes the Democratic Party needs to make after losing the 2024 presidential election. During the Q&A, Newsom never addressed Halle's critique of him, but his spokesperson, Izzy Gordon, later issued a statement to TMZ saying the governor deeply admires Halle's advocacy and looks forward to working with her on this critical issue because he shares her goal of expanding access to menopause care. Gordon also said that Newsom vetoed the bill because it would have unintentionally raised healthcare costs for millions of working women and working families already stretched thin. Let's take that a little further. Let's go a little further with that. Okay, so here's Governor Newsom's administration stance. The spokesperson, who I just mentioned, for Newsom, stated he shares her goal of expanding access to menopause care and has deep admiration for Ms. Berry's advocacy. Here's the reason for the veto. According to Newsom's office, the bill was vetoed because the concerns it would have unintentionally raised healthcare costs for women. Specific concerns include the veto message cited the bill's expansive coverage mandate in conjunction with a prohibition or utilization management as being too far-reaching. Future plans. Newsom's office has indicated a willingness to work with the stakeholders to find a better solution and has directed his administration to explore additional policy changes for next year's budget process. So Halle made her voice heard. Sounds like the governor is listening. She's definitely on his radar. And it appears that he wants to make amends. At the very least, he wants to figure out some type of situation that works for both sides. Seems like his main goal is that he does not want to raise healthcare any more than what it is. Y'all know healthcare is going out of the roof right now. I'm talking about, look, these fools, it's got to be something illegal about what they're doing, fam. I mean, how do you raise healthcare premiums by 3 times? If you're renting an apartment or something, even if you're renting a business, a building, you can't triple the rent in one swing. You can't triple the rent. There has to be incremental increases. You can't just jump to 3 times the amount. You got to go 4%, 5%, 10%, I think 15% max in most places that you can just go up on the rent. You can't do that. But these insurance companies have been able to get away with this. And why are they getting away with it? Because you have uncivilized mutt people in Congress. That's right, I said it. Uncivilized mutt congressmen and women selling us out on a daily basis. They're selling us out on a daily basis. Uncivilized mutt congressmen and women selling us out on a daily basis. And they use these slimy snake oil salesman lobbyists to achieve their goals. So it used to be these Congress members would be getting popped left and right for stealing and taking money under the table. They was getting popped left and right. And they came together and they said, look, man, we got to figure out a way to get this money and not go to jail. We got to figure out a way to get this money and not get prosecuted. Well, what can we do? Oh, man. Damn, we're the lawmakers. We'll just make it a law that we can take money. But we're not going to be able to do it direct. The American people will never go for that. We're not going to be able to do it directly. How can we get away with it? We'll make the middleman, we'll call the middleman lobbyist. We'll give them a nice name, like lobbyist, so that it sounds, professional and progressive. Lobbyist, because it sounds like somebody who's helping, right? Lobbyist, you're lobbying for a cause. You're helping something, a cause. So let's call them lobbyists. Somebody else is going to always be opposition, no matter how good and sound the plan is. Off the rip, somebody's going to always oppose. So somebody else probably said, I don't like lobbyists, man. Let's just call them, it's the middleman. They're middleman. Let's just call it what it is. No. You see, man, the middleman you're thinking too small. Sometimes, there's a negative connotation sometimes associated with the middleman. Sometimes when, middleman means the guy that's doing something sneaky and slick. He's a middleman, like he's in the way. He's in the middle. He's in the way. Lobbyist, man. They were like, and then somebody else come in and say, you know what? I think John's probably right. There you go. Oh, they probably, knowing them, they probably not. He's probably right. Okay, lobbyists. So we're going to get the lobbyists to talk to them. We talk to the lobbyists. Let them go talk to the lobbyists. And the lobbyists come back and tell us what they want. Woo-woo. And we tell the lobbyists where to send the money to. As long as we don't directly take the check, we just tell the lobbyists to give the check to the charity or company business of our desire. We'll tell them to send it to the business of our choice, right? Oh, another way we can do it also is we tell them to send contracts to this particular company right here, and we're going to need X amount of contracts per year. Billions, X amount of millions per year. Deal. And that's why you ain't seen no lobbyists go to jail in the last 30 years. You ain't seen no lobbyists go to jail. You ain't seen no Congress members going to jail for taking money. And if one of them do go to jail, somehow they get pardoned. It's all one big hustle, fam. It's all one big hustle. And who suffer the most? We do. Taxpayers. We suffer the most. The politicians in this country are bought and sold. They've been bought and sold all the way out. They don't give a damn about nobody but themselves. We're all are just pawns in one big old game of Monopoly. Yeah, fam. Monopoly and manipulation. When they jump out there and talk about how they're, American people, they love to say the American people, they don't give a damn about no American people. They don't give a damn about the American people. They don't give a damn about the Spanish people. They don't give a damn about the Asians. They don't give a damn about no people. These people out here getting money, man. It's all about money. We got people living under bridges right in DC. It's people living on the street. And the country is hemorrhaging financially. You got the biggest budget. We're at the biggest deficit on record right now. And you got the president building a $250 million ballroom. He's building a $250 million. And they never come in under cost, right? Or at cost. That $250 million ballroom would probably blossom to a $300 to $400 million ballroom. And, ain't nobody gonna complain about it. And ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. Cold game, fam. Cold game. I think Halle is barking up the wrong tree with Gavin Newsom, because when she was giving her speech and she said that maybe he shouldn't become president, that was a collective sigh, like, yeah, right. Like, and I think that she's speaking to his constituents. So that's not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly at all. I think that Gavin Newsom is the Democrats' best choice to run in 28. I think he's their best choice because, whatever you think about his politics, at least he got the balls to stand up against Trump. He's not afraid of Trump. And that's what they need. They need somebody who is not afraid of Trump and his scare tactics. And I really haven't seen any male Democrat with those type of balls. I ain't really seen a major male Democrat politician who has been as charismatic, up on the issues, and unafraid to go after Trump and say what he mean and mean what he say. There's several women out there in the Democratic Party, who got the courage to stand up and come forward, speak their mind. But a lot of these dudes are cowards. I mean, straight cowards, man. Straight cowards. So I don't think Halle Berry's going to get far with this. I think she's going to do better trying to figure out how to work with Gavin Newsom than against Gavin Newsom. And I really don't believe that she really understands the full scope of that bill that they were trying to pass, and what the ramifications of passing that bill is. At the end of the day, y'all know how this go, fam. It's gonna come down to, well, how much it's gonna cost. Everything in this country is, at the end of the day, how much it's gonna cost. And here's the deal. It really don't matter how much it costs, because in this country, we figure out a way to get what we want. We figure out a way to come up with the money when we really want something. That's all of us, whether we're talking individual Americans or we're talking about the government, Congress members collectively. We come up with a way to get the money to spend on what we want. So I think they'll figure out how to work that piece out. Another story, fam, that has been buzzing around the internet as of late is Kalina Harper. Kalina Harper is Diddy's former artist. And she got a problem with Diddy right now. She didn't hold back in the new Diddy Netflix documentary. She says that right before Diddy started blowing up her phone nonstop, begging her to put out a statement in his favor, she actually reached out to him for help. Y'all remember that, fam? Remember that? According to her, she asked Diddy for $5,000 so she could hire a better lawyer in her custody battle and get her kids back. And she says Diddy straight up told her he wouldn't help her. She says that not long after he denied her, he suddenly started calling her repeatedly, the same calls prosecutors later highlighted as potential witness tampering, asking her to speak publicly in a way that would benefit him after Don Richard filed her lawsuit. So what are your thoughts on that, fam? Good move or bad move? Number one, I followed this Diddy case extensively, and from what I understood about this particular woman, she sold Don out when Don needed her. Yeah, man. She sold Don out when Don needed her. But it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. Don, she was saying that Don was lying, about everything. She said that Don was lying. But it's bigger than that, like I said, fam, because I'm going to tell you something. $5,000 is nothing to Diddy to give to her. Now, we don't know why he didn't give her the money, but we do know it came to bite him. It came back to bite him. We don't know why he didn't give her the money. Because here's the thing about loaning people money, fam, or giving people money. You can give somebody money 99 times. At the 100th time they ask, and you say no for the very first time, they're going to call you all kind of B's and H's. You everything but a child of God. You're dead to them. Ain't that something? How you can help people over and over and over again, and then the moment that you say no, you're dead to them. So we don't know how often Diddy helped her already. We don't know how many times he helped her. We don't know how many times she called Diddy with a side case. We don't know. But what we do know is she called Diddy, asked Diddy for 5 racks, and he said no. And that was enough to for him to feel her wrath. The moment he said no, she was probably thinking about payback the entire time. I couldn't do that though. I mean, I'm just not built like that. You know, I make it a point not to put myself in a position to ask another person for money. But if I was in that position where I thought you were good enough to ask for money, if I thought we was tight enough for me to ask you for some money, and you said no, I wouldn't get you back by going public and trying to shame you or embarrass you, humiliate. I wouldn't do that. I would just, at that point, just decide that it just depends on what the relationship was like before the 5,000. I have to think about the whole thing. How many times have I asked? How many times have you said no? You know, how badly did I need it at that moment? Really, really need it? And what was he going through? You know, did he have some uncertainty? We say $5,000 is nothing to somebody like Diddy, who's worth reportedly close to $1 billion at one point. But what if, even though he's worth close to $1 billion on paper, at the time, right then and there, all the money that he got is going towards his expenses. And he has put himself on a budget to not spend as much as he was and not loan out as much money as he had been loaning out in order for him to stay afloat. See, a lot of times we don't be thinking about all of those things. We don't think about the ancillaries. We just think about, okay, what's right there? What's right there that we can see? It looks like he's doing good to me. I know he got 5,000. You don't want to give me 5,000? I'm going to go on 50 Cent documentary. I'm going to talk bad about him. I'm going to, every chance I get, I'm going to talk bad. We don't know. Maybe it could have been a situation also where, you know, Diddy could have probably said to himself, you know, I did some things wrong and in the past with her or whatever. And, you know, she asking for 5 racks. I got it. You know what, man, just take this 5 racks and, you know, and maybe next time you talk to her, whatever, give her a pep talk or something like that so she don't feel encouraged to keep on coming to you asking for money. But it looks like he may have been able to handle this in a different manner. Maybe he was on one. Like, yo, I ain't getting you shit. Get off my phone. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We don't know what his energy was like. But we do know that it came back to bite him. We know that. We know it came back to bite him. Had he given her the 5,000, maybe, just maybe, when he called her a few weeks later or a short time later, perhaps she would have been ready to go to war with him, go to war for him. She was ready to go to bat for him, right? And this is a reminder, fam, that you never know when you're going to need a person. You never know when you're going to have to cross that bridge again. You know, oftentimes when we talk about crossing bridges and not burning bridges, we think of not burning a bridge, a big bridge. We think of putting ourselves in a subordinate position and not burning a bridge that's where the other side, the other part seem to have the power and, you know, all of the money or whatever. We think that that bridge is the person with the most power, right? Sometimes that bridge could be a person who has little or nothing but a voice. It could be somebody with just All they got is they ain't got no money, but they got a voice. And they can testify to my character. They can testify to my character. I know a lot of people who don't really have a lot of money, but they have influence with their voice. They have a lot of influence with their voice. They have big voices. They don't have a lot of money, but they have big voices. And so you never know. You just never know when you might need them. Some of us got relatives that we have decided that, man, I'm done with you. I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting off. You cut them off, and that's fine. Some people need to be cut off, and you just got to deal with it. You know, I'm not saying don't ever cut people off. I mean, some people need to be cut off. And we know New Year's coming up, and we know a lot of us going to be cutting off a whole lot of people. Some people need to be cut off. But you just never know when you might need somebody. You don't know when you're going to go to the doctor and the doctor going to say, you need a kidney. And your brother might be a match. Your sister might be a match. But you can't go to them because you ain't even spoke to your sister in 20 years. You ain't spoke to your brother since last year at the cook-off, at the cookout. You ain't spoke to him. You don't call me no more. I ain't calling you. Nigga, I don't never need nothing for you. Nigga, I ain't never need nothing for you, motherfucker. What I'm going to call you for? I don't need you. Nigga, I don't need nothing from you. Next thing you know, you just got the news. You need a kidney. And bro might be a perfect match. He don't even drink. He don't smoke. Y'all got the same mama and daddy. Now you going to him and you thinking, I need the kidney. Now you got to swallow your pride because you want to live. See, when you want to live, that pride don't mean nothing. Now you want to live, you got to swallow your pride. Your brother, wife is over there in his ear saying, nah, don't give him that kidney. He wouldn't do that for you. Remember, he said he don't want nothing to do with you. He cut you off. Da-da-da. He don't want nothing to do with you. Don't give him that kidney. Don't you be no fool and give him your kidney. So you call, he like, nah, man. No. Then y'all start getting into an argument. He's like, all right, nigga, keep the kidney there, motherfucker. You click. Hey, man, my bad, man. My fault, man. I ain't mean to say that, man. But I really need a kidney, man. Can you give me that kidney? I'm laughing, fam, but it's true. It's real. It's real. You never know when you're going to need somebody, fam. You'll never know. You never know when you need somebody. And so try to end business relationships on a good note. You know, try to end them amicably, you know. Try. I'm not saying they're always going to end like that, but try. And, you know, try to be fair with people. Try to pack fair. Because when you pack fair and people burn that bridge, they know what they did. They know they did you dirty. They know. And usually when you pack fair, you may not get your fair shake right then and there, but down the line, it always comes back. It comes back. Try to do good business with people. Try to do good business. Make it a point to do good business. And when you're known as a person that do good business, people tend to want to do business with you. The word gets out. People ask about you, and they say, yeah, that's solid. He's solid. She's solid. Oh, yeah, that's a good person. And you just tend to do more business. You get more opportunities because you do good business. Oftentimes, you can do bad business and get opportunities. But the moment that you fall off and you need a lifeline, you're not going to get that lifeline because now nobody needs you. You need somebody. And people remember how much of a demon you were. They remember your evil spirit. And they don't want nothing to do with you. And they don't want to bring you back to life. They don't want to recreate the monster. So they're going to make sure they don't help you. They're going to make sure. There have been people in the music industry that were hot at one time. I mean, super hot at one time. And the radio stations, the video stations, the people at the venues, the promoters, they had to deal with them because they were hot. They had to deal with them. They couldn't avoid them. They had to play the records. But the moment they wasn't hot anymore, man, people remember when he walked into that radio station and didn't speak to anybody, and he was rude to the intern. Now, guess what? The intern is the program director now. Yeah, the intern is now the program director. And the intern remembers. Now, you got a new record, or you got a new artist, and you're trying to push your artist. That intern, who is now the program director, remembers your attitude. And they're not letting you in the door. They're not going to recreate the beast. They're not going to give you that opportunity. They remember. Yeah. But treat people good, man. You know, just be fair. Overall, I ain't saying be a sucker now. You know, if somebody deserve your venom, you know, they get what they get. But I'm saying just overall, if you solid and you do good business, you'll be rewarded. And if you're solid and you're genuinely a good person and you ask somebody to speak on your behalf, you ain't even got to be in the room. You ain't got to really ask. They're going to speak on your behalf. They're going to say good things about you, even if you're not in the room, because all they know is, everybody know, that's all they know is for you to be solid. All they know is you being solid. And if somebody say something different, they're going to be like, huh? Man, that don't even sound like such. Man, that don't even sound real. Like, you know, it's so far, when somebody lie on you, it's so far, they say something inconsistent with who you are and what everybody know you to be. It's so far out of line. It's so far away from your character. It sounds like a lie already. Nobody even believes it. Nobody believes it. It sounds like a lie. So nobody is going to even believe that. That's how strong you got to be with your character. That's how strong your character got to be. Your character have to be so consistent that if somebody said something about you that's inconsistent with your character, everybody's going to be like, or at least the person that's listening going to be like, that don't even sound right. That don't even sound like him. That don't sound like her. He lying. He lying. Your character got to be so strong that that the person who's listening to the lie has to give you the benefit of doubt. That's when you know you're doing something right. Yeah. That's when you know you're doing something right. Family, I want to talk about this young woman who gave birth to a baby and left the baby on the porch. Let me back up. She gave birth to the baby and took the baby outside on the porch and pretended to find the baby. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Check it out.
I'm happy now. I was just scared at first, but...
And how old are you?
16.
Hayden Peoples didn't even know she was pregnant until it was happening on Thanksgiving.
I was laying in bed, my water had broke, and I went in the bathroom, and I had Paxton. And when let me go into depth a little more.
3 pushes into the toilet, and there he was. Peyton's mom, Kyra, was at a family member's Peyton home alone.
I cleaned him off, and then I looked up on TikTok how to cut my umbilical cord, and I cut the cord.
She was terrified and spun a tale that someone dumped the baby on the porch of her family's West Side Detroit home. He was never on the porch.
Huh? Why my porch? That's what I kept asking. Why on my porch? Why my porch? Why my porch?
Kyra believed her daughter. They're close. Posting this on social media, and it spread everywhere. They called 911. Detroit police then brought Peyton into Children's Hospital downtown Detroit to be ruled out as the mom. That's when Peyton fessed up. Little Paxton was hers.
It was already hard for her to raise us, so it was like, that's just adding another burden on her back, and I didn't want to do that.
The baby is always a blessing. It was just that my baby went through this by herself.
Kyra, a single mom to 4 kids. Money was already tight, and now a grandbaby.
We're going to figure it out. I'm going to keep going to work. She's going back to school. I'm going to do midnights. She's going to go to school in the day. We're going to switch off.
We're going to figure it out. I ain't got no problem with that. Let me tell you something, fam. Life happens. Life happens. We don't always make the best choices. Life happens. First thing come to your mind is, you know what? She knew the consequences of her actions. What was she laying up in bed for with her legs open in the first place? Why she allowed, what is she doing 16 years old having sex in the first place? You know, that's what our immediate, response is when we see something like this, because it's frustrating to see so many youngsters make the same mistake over and over and over and over and over again, right? That there's been plenty of warnings, plenty of signs, plenty of information out there. They know the warnings, right? They know what's out there. And yet young people still make these same type of mistakes. Family, I think the mother is going through it enough already. That mom said she's a single mother of 4, she's working. And now she may as well be a single mother of 5 because those grandbabies are heavy lifting. Grandbabies are heavy lifting. And she said, yeah, a child is a blessing, right? A child is a blessing, but a child can leave you stressing also, right? A child, if we're gonna keep it a buck, let's keep it a buck. A child can be a burden and a blessing. A burden when you got 4 miles to 5 miles to feed already, and now you got a 6 mouth. And now you got young children. Now you got an even younger kid that somebody got to take care of. Somebody got to watch over. You got to spend money on. Probably gonna need a daycare or something at some point. It's more money, more clothes, more doctor visits. More insurance. It's a lot, right? So we don't want to gloss over that. We don't want to gloss over that. It is very costly to bring a child into this world at a social disadvantage. And when you don't have money, because money make the world go round, when you don't have money and you bring a child into this world, you are bringing that child into this world at a social disadvantage. This is why oftentimes when kids come into the world at a social disadvantage, they ain't got it, they end up going out there and get it. This is why young men like myself included went out there at 14, 15 years old, trying to get it, trying to fill the shoes that my daddy was supposed to be wearing, right? So I'm out here making these moves and doing this and that, and now I got a record, I got a jacket, because I'm out here trying to do the job of a grown man when I should just be a young man living my life, just having fun, kicking it with my friends, getting my schoolwork done and, dreaming and having aspirations and stuff like that. But I'm out here making grown man moves and suffering grown man consequences. So make no mistake, when you bring a child into this world and you ain't got no bread, you ain't got no plan, no financial plan, you're bringing your child into the world at a social disadvantage. And they can end up in the streets trying to get it. It's human nature to want nice things. You know, it's human nature to feel offended when somebody say bad things about you and talk about your clothes and talk about how you got the same shoes on and you got a hole in your shoe and, you know, your shirt dingy and, you know, your house, look at the house y'all live in. You know, you got to get off the school bus a block away, 2 blocks away, because you don't want nobody to see the house that you're walking inside of. Having said all of that, man, there ain't no manuscript for parenting. Well, we got some things that we know that works, right? We got some things that we know that work, but it don't always work out like that. It don't always work out. So as parents, we do the best that we can. I'm sure she told her daughter about, you know, being hot, being fast. I'm sure she told her. And, you know, she jumped out there anyway. She jumped out there anyway. She ain't the first and she won't be the last. That means that she discarded her daughter? No. That means that I told you about this. I warned you about this. So now, you know, our lives have been altered. So now we're going to have to make some adjustments. We're going to have to make some adjustments. And you ain't going to be able to go to the dance like you wanted to go to the dance. You ain't going to be able to go to all the dances. You ain't going to be able to hang out with your friends. You ain't going to be able to participate in this and that and do what your friends do and stuff. You got a baby to raise. So dream deferred, at least for now. You know, in fact, dream ain't necessarily got to be deferred, but it ain't going to go exactly like you planned it because you have a baby to raise. So there ain't no, you know, one size fits all for these type of situations. You teach your child the best, you give them the game, and most importantly, you love on them. You let them know that, look, I'm with you. I got your back. I'll always be here to support you. When you're doing right, I'm with you. If you do wrong, I'm with you, but I'm going to put you in your place and I'm going to let you know you're wrong. But we're going to work, no matter what happened, we're going to get through it together. We're going to work it out together. I'm here for you. You let them know what you expect from them. That way, when they go out into the world and they do certain things, which they're not gonna always be on code. You don't want your child to be perfect. That's too much pressure. What you want your child to do is, before they do something imperfect, before they do something that they know they ain't got no business doing, you want to be that little person on their shoulder saying, looking at them like, hey. You want them to have that conscience. You want to be their conscious. See, when my kids were growing up, I had, in my mind, I was thinking, it's not my job to catch them doing something wrong all the time. It's not my job to catch them. Some parents just be like, I'm gonna catch them. No, it's not my job to catch them doing something wrong. It's my job to be their conscious when I'm not around. And how do I do that? I let them know what I expect from them. And I let them know that they are loved and they have options. I give them the game. I tell them what's right, what's wrong, and let them know what the choices are. These are the choices, and these are the consequences for your choices. whether you make a good choice, these are the consequences most likely. You make a bad choice, these are the consequences most likely. And then I reinforce that. When they do wrong, they are penalized. They are punished when they do wrong. When they do good, they are rewarded. I do not reward bad behavior. Do not reward bad behavior. If you go out there and mess up, you do something wrong or whatever, there has to be consequences. Sometimes consequences are more severe than others, but there has to be always consequences because that's the way the world works. That's the way life works. Anytime you go out into the world, whether you be on your job or you're in public, if you do something wrong, even if you violate a traffic law, there's consequences for that. In life, there's consequences. If you raise your children to think that there are no consequences to their actions, they're going to go out there with a false sense of what the world is like and what they're owed, and they're going to go out there with a sense of entitlement, and they're going to get their heads knocked off. So my job is not to catch my kids, doing something wrong. My job was to be their conscience. And my job was to catch them enough. Catch them when they do wrong, catch them enough to where they had some doubt about doing wrong. And they could have a sense of pride and understand that, look, okay, ooh, man, I'd rather do right than face my daddy. I don't want to hear his mouth. I do not want to feel his wrath. So let me do right. Now, they did a few things. They did a few slick things that I'm just finding out about. And that's okay. That's okay, because I didn't expect to catch them doing wrong every time. I didn't expect them, I didn't expect to catch them doing. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be no helicopter dad, never wanted to be that dude. I just wanted to let them know I'm present. I'm present. I'm available. I'm here. I'm in your life. I'm right there. So I give you the game, and you can go out there and play the game a different way. If you fall on your face, you will never be able to say, I didn't tell you so. You'll never be able to say I was not there. You'll never be able to say you didn't have support. You didn't have love. So that's on you. I think that the mom had the right answer. Look, we're going to get through it. It is amazing how parents can be right inside of the house with their children and not know what's going on. That girl said she didn't know she was pregnant until she was actually delivering the baby. She didn't know she was pregnant until the baby was coming out. I know some women be like, damn, I wish my pregnancy would have been that easy for me. You know what I'm saying? Like she didn't have no cramps, like no discomfort, or belly didn't get bigger, none of that. She didn't know. But I've heard a few women say that before, that they didn't know that they were pregnant until they were actually having the baby. That's wild to me. That's crazy. But I think they're gonna get through it. The mom seemed like a loving mother, and the daughter seemed like a good girl. She seemed like a good girl, even though she did what she did. Hey man, we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Ain't none of us perfect. So you can still be a good kid and do something bad. You can be a good kid and do something bad. And so she did something bad. She did something that was inconsistent with what her mom instructed her to do, and now she's gonna have to deal with it. But I think they'll get through with it because, hey, at the end of the day, as long as that relationship that they have is rooted in love is the foundation, they're gonna be all right. If mama make it about mama, then there might be some problems. But I think they're gonna be all right. Let's talk about my man, right?
You know, I see Mauricio, you know, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize. Like, who the f you think I am?
Ladies and gentlemen, Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford is perhaps the best fighter of this generation. Point blank, period. Doesn't matter what weight class. He is probably the absolute best. And if I had to take a chance and somebody would just, if you twisted my arm, I would just straight up tell you he is the best, right? In fact, you don't even have to twist my arm. He's the best. He's the best fighter of this generation. He's absolutely the best. Now, Terrence had a problem with WBC, the World Boxing Council, trying to shake him down for $300,000 in fines, in fees, well, not fines, but fees. You see, when you are part of an organization, a boxing organization, they have fees that each member must pay. Terrence being a member of that organization, along with the other organizations, WBA, IBF, and which one? WBA and IBF are the two big ones, but also the WBO, the World Boxing Organization. Those are the big four, right? They all have fees for you to pay, and some fees are higher than others. And Terrence was like, look, I'm not paying y'all $300,000. If you want your damn belts back, you can have them, but I'm not paying y'all $300,000. So this is the first time that I can recall a fighter in history going public discussing boxing organization fees. And Terrence was not having it, man. He was super hot. Let's go.
Well, you better slap yourself and paying your ass shit. You talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so better than any other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the green belt, which don't mean shit. Real belt is the ring belt, which is free. What are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioned bodies because you feel like you better than them? How in the world all the sanctioned bodies agreed to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? You can take belt. It's a trophy anyway. The fuck am I paying you every time I step foot in the fucking ring?
Well, well, well. All right, fam, you heard it. You heard it from Terrence Bud Crawford. He's not paying you nothing. WBC, World Boxing Council, makes y'all think he gonna give y'all some money. Terrence Crawford said what he did, that he did what he did because the WBC stripped him of his super middleweight title for not paying sanctioning fees, which he disputed, leading to a heated public exchange with WBC President Mauricio Suleiman. Terrence claims Suleiman made up fees, speculated on his earnings, and acted out of favoritism because Terrence had beaten Canelo Alvarez, whom he believes the WBC president supported. He also criticized the fees, stating the money is used to fund Suleiman and other WBC officials' lifestyles, and noted that the other sanctioning bodies accepted what he paid. I don't know what those other fees were, but here are some key points of contention. The sanctioning fees. The core issue is the unpaid sanctioning fees for Crawford's last two fights, including the one against Canelo Alvarez. The WBC claims Crawford failed to pay the required fees and ignored multiple communications. Let's stop right there. They're absolutely going to sue him for those fees, and they are likely to be compensated. What the judge and the jury and the courts don't want to do is set a precedence for fighters being able to skate around those fees. They're going to say, the WBC is going to say, hey, he was a member of our organization while he was having this big fight. We did a lot to help him and position him to have this big fight, and he made millions of dollars with us. And so we deserve our little bitty fee. At the very least, we deserve our little fee because, look, man, without us, it wouldn't have been able to happen. So I do believe that the WBC is going to collect those fees one way or the other. Another point of contention is the earnings and speculation. Terrence stated that Sullivan is speculating about his earnings and accused him of trying to charge him more because of a belief that he is better than them. Favoritism. Terrence suggested that Sullivan was upset he beat Canelo Alvarez and that this favoritism was a factor in stripping of the title. He pointed out that Canelo was not stripped for failing to fight David Benavidez. I've said his name, I don't know, 100 times and never gotten it wrong just saying it, but now I'm looking at it and I'm saying it wrong. I guess it's the way it's spelled. But yeah, Benavidez, a longtime mandatory challenger. Lifestyle of officials. Terrence argued that the sanctioning fees are used by WBC officials to furnish their lifestyles, including expensive hotels and dinners, unpaid fees. The WBC states that Terrence didn't pay bout fees for his fight against Israel Madrimov in August 2024, and that they did not receive a response to their communication about the fees. Stripping of the title. As a result of the dispute, the WBC stripped Crawford of his super middleweight title, and ordered a fight between Hamza Shiraz and Christian Mobili for the vacant title. Let me just say I'm not familiar with Hamza Shiraz, but Christian Mobili is a beast. He's a bad, bad boy. He got to tighten up on his defense, but his power is unquestionable. He absolutely has to tighten up on his defense because I've seen him get rocked, and I actually called him getting rocked before he got rocked. So he's going to have to tighten up on his defense, but he is exciting to watch. I'm talking about Christian Mobili. He is not Mo, but Mobili. Christian Mobili. He is exciting, very exciting to watch. So yeah, as I was saying, fam, I think that they will get that money. But here's the deal. This is the problem that I have with all of the sanctioning bodies. They don't do enough to protect the fighters. There's too many fighters out here who are broke. There's too many former fighters. I'm talking about championship fighters who are broke. They're struggling with their health. They are struggling to maintain a roof over their heads. They're struggling to buy food. Too many fighters. Boxing does not take care of its fighters. Boxing's number one commodity is its fighters. Without the fighters, you have nothing. And the head of these sanctioning bodies live a lavish lifestyle. They live way better than most of the fighters. That shouldn't be the case because the fighters are the ones who are putting their lives on the line. They're the ones getting out there mixing it up. They're the ones every single night putting their health on the line, putting their bodies, putting their life on the line. They're the ones doing all that rigorous training, stretching their muscles. Sometimes they end up losing relationships, end up divorcing because of their commitment to boxing. It's a serious sport. It's a very dangerous sport. And the fighters have absolutely no protection, none. And that needs to change. There needs to be a union. Fighters need a union. These sanctioning bodies need to belly up and then get the hell out of the way and come and merge into one. There needs to be one body. If they can't do one, at the very least, there needs to be a union where all of them have to contribute. All of them have to pay up. All of them have to kiss the ring. The fighters are the greatest asset to boxing. Nobody else. Hey, man, referee, love you. Judge, love you. President, love you. Paramedics, love you. Fans, love you. Coaches, managers, love you. Photographers, love you. Videographer, love you. Promoters, love you. But without the fighters, you don't have a job. Nobody's eating unless there's a fight. So these fighters need to be taken care of. None of them are doing a good enough job in that regard. None of them are looking out for the fighters. None of them are looking out for the fighters. It's too many fighters who are out here that are homeless. Too many fighters living with their sisters, their parents. Too many fighters. Something needs to be done about that. It could start with some of the biggest fighters in the game right now. You put somebody like Pacquiao together, Pacquiao, even though Pacquiao ain't really in the game for real, but if you put those guys who have respect in the game, you bring in, if you put Terrence and Benavidez, and you put Tyson and Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez, you put all of those dudes in there, Tank, Shakur, you put those guys that making all of the noise, get them in a room. Get all the top guys in a room, and you put one person, get one person who is charismatic enough and got the balls to stand up to these organizations and say, look, this is how it's going to go from now on. I'm here to represent the players. Now they're going to have to scramble and get their act together, or there ain't going to be no fights. And Lord knows they can't make no money unless there's fights. All these name brand dudes, that's how they make their money. They can't make no money off the dudes who ain't really got no names. So they can go work. You think they're going to start back working in the ballrooms? They're going to go back to working in the clubs? No, they're not going to do that. They're used to working these big fights with the big lights. So they're going to have to acquiesce to the players' demands. They're going to have to acquiesce to the union's demands. That's how that goes. So, yeah, I'm on Buzz side with this all the way. I don't like the idea of the fighters having to pay for these organizations, to be part of these organizations. I don't like the idea that he would have to pay $300,000 in fees to this organization. What are they doing for him? I'm with Bud. they should be paying him. They should be paying him. I'm paying you. I'm a fighter. I'm the fighter. And you mean to tell me I'm paying you just to say I got a belt? Once I win the belt is mine forever anyway. So I don't have to actually give the belt back. Technically, the belt is not mine, but physically, I got the belt. So and I ain't never got to give the belt back. And at the end of the day, the belt ain't nothing but a trophy anyway, as Bud said. So why are we putting $300,000 on these belts? $300,000? Now, if he had to pay the union $300,000, that would be different. If he had to give the union $300,000, that would be different. I can see the union, and even $300,000 is a lot of money to give a union, but I guess it would be determined by how much money you make in a single year, right? Some probably would have to pay more than others. You know, some union fees might be higher, depending on how much money you're making, right? So I get that, but paying the organization? Hell no. Hell no. Bud was absolutely right, man. He shouldn't have to have given them a nickel. He shouldn't have to give them a nickel. What are they doing? Are they making sure that he have health care after his retirement? Are they making sure he have health care now? You know, does that $300,000 include his health care right now? How much of that $300,000 goes toward his pension? How much of that $300,000 goes towards his kids' education? That's what I want to know. Like, if you're not doing the things that we value, that we actually value, like healthcare, education, lifestyle down the line, retirement, what the hell are you doing? So no, I'm not with that, fam. I'm not with that at all. Bud, you got the right idea, man. Don't give them jack. Family, I saw a video online yesterday and I said, man, I got to speak on this. I got to speak on this. This is a wild, wild west story right here. This is a story of an 82-year-old lady. 82-year-old lady who is behind bars and accused of murdering her 75-year-old boyfriend in Tunica County. Well, I guess it's pronounced Tunica County. The Tunica County Sheriff's Office says that Maddie Crawford, here she is. Man, they say Maddie of Sledge, Mississippi, is charged with murder and being held at the county jail on $100,000 bond. Her arrest stems from the shooting of James Larry Jr., also of Sledge. The sheriff's office reports that Maddie made a 911 call reporting that she had shot her boyfriend around 3:15 p.m. Tuesday from a home in on Tibbs Road. Larry was pronounced dead at the scene once first responders arrived. Authorities say Maddie was taken to a local hospital for treatment of undisclosed injuries before her booking. She appeared before a judge for her bond hearing Wednesday. TCSO says the investigation remains active and ongoing. Anyone with information is asked to contact the sheriff's office at blah, 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 blah. Family, how you 82 years old and in jail for murdering your spouse, 75 years old? You know what it was? They were squabbling. They were squabbling. She pulled out a gun and shot him. But it doesn't say how long they had been together. Doesn't say how long they had been together. But what it does say, without saying it, is that Maddie and her boyfriend were old fools. That's right, I said it. Old fools. You got to be an old fool to be in your 70s and 80s and still squabbling. Y'all still having domestic disturbances. Y'all still got the police coming to y'all house at 70-something, 80-something years old. The police still pulling up at your house. At 70-something, 80-something years old, you're supposed to be at peace. You're supposed to be chilling, kicking it, laid back, relaxing. Like, if you hear something noise, you like, what was that? Any type of little noise. You're like, wait a minute, what was that? You know, you're supposed to be at peace, man. If there's a knock at the door, ring at the door, you're supposed to already know who it is. At 70-something, 80-something years old, and you still acting a nut, ain't no telling how many times she been fighting. Ain't no telling how many times she had fights with her boyfriends over the years. This might not even be her first killing. I don't think you wait till you're 82 years old to kill somebody, to kill a spouse for the first time. I bet you if this thing keeps going, the story is developing. And I bet you if we look down the line, she has probably at least seriously injured at least one boyfriend or husband before. The boyfriend, 75 years old. I can only speculate, fam, but 75 years old, how you swinging on a woman? You 70 at any age, really. But really, when we talking 75, man, all of that aggression should be gone. All of that extra mad, that stuff should be over with. These are old fools. This is why I say, fam, you cannot automatically give a person the benefit of doubt just because they're old. Just because somebody is up in age doesn't mean that they're mature. Old does not necessarily mean mature. Age does not necessarily mean mature. She 82 years old in jail for killing her 75-year-old boyfriend. 75. I bet you they was cussing. I bet you they one of those couples that was just cussing up a storm every day. God damn it. You can't do nothing right. You've been around those type, right? Man, you've seen those type. You know, they cussing each other out every day, all day, just cussing. Acting a damn fool. And look at her. She got a look on her face like, I guess I shouldn't have did that. That's the look on her face. She's like, shit, I guess I shouldn't have did that. Guess I went too far. I want y'all to take a look at this picture, fam. Take a close look at this picture. Don't be Maddie. Don't be Maddie. Don't be 82 years old facing a life sentence in prison for killing your significant other. Man, by the time you are in your 40s, 50s, man, you're supposed to have it figured out as far as what worked for you. You're supposed to have that part figured out. All that drama, unnecessary tension, you're supposed to have all that figured out. Anybody that like to fight, they want drama, they like to kick up dust, they like to get loud, you're supposed to go in the opposite direction. Let that fool be by themselves. That's why most old people live alone, because they can't live with nobody. Nobody want to live with them. Nobody can stand to live with them. They just grumpy, complain all day, fuss all day. So they just live alone. Can't live with somebody. They can't live with anybody. Look at her. Look at the look on her face. Oh, man. Guess I ain't gonna be cooking the family dinner for Christmas. I guess everybody gonna go to, I guess they gonna go to Charlene's house for Christmas. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have just let James go. I should have just let him just go and leave, because he was trying to leave out the house, go to his brother's house and play dominoes. And I was just being selfish, I guess. That's how she gonna be talking in the courtroom. I can guarantee you. I can guarantee you when she go in the courtroom and the judge gonna be looking at her like, judge gonna be like, we have Maddie Crockett. Not Maddie. That's how them judges be talking. When you do, like when they get them old people in their courtroom that do stupid stuff. Not Maddie. What we have it? What they're saying that you killed your boyfriend. Did you do it? Yeah, unfortunately, I did. The lawyer gonna be like, "Hey, don't say that." Well, he know what I did. I did it. Shit, I killed him. I did it. I ain't gonna lie about it. I did it. Well, Maddie, why'd you kill you? I mean, why'd you kill him? You kill you? Well, I wasn't trying to do it. I ain't mean to do it. He just was trying to go to his brother's house to play dominoes, and I just wanted him to stay there with me. And, because I tell him, you go over there every weekend, you over there. Every weekend you go over there. And I just feel like I just want him to be here with me. And, well, what did you want him to do, Maddie? Y'all was going to watch television or something? No, it was just, I just wanted him to be there with me. That's all. I just wanted him to just be there, It wasn't nothing special or nothing like that. It wasn't no special occasion. I just wanted him, to be there with me. Well, Maddie, where'd you get the gun from? Oh, I had bought the gun. Yeah, I had been bought the gun. I bought the gun for my last husband. Well, what happened to your last husband? You killed your last husband? No, I ain't killed him. But I shot at him. Woo, Maddie, you a mess, man. 82 years old, in jail for murdering your significant other. They finally got her. I can guarantee you Maddie got a record. I can guarantee she has a domestic violence record. I can guarantee you this is not her first time being locked up for domestic violence. Wow. What a way to live out the rest of your days. What a way to live out the rest of your days. And speaking of the rest of your days, there's a video floating around of a guy who was inside of a casket. And there was some rumbling going on outside of the casket. You know what? I'm just going to play the video, fam. Maybe you can figure out what was going on. There's not a lot of context here, but yeah, let me just play the video so you can see for yourself.
Woo! Clint! bury it like that. That's what you do. You bury it just like it is now.
My
Bury it like it is
doing
now.
it so they don't recycle the
Bury
casket.
it.
That's
Bury
right.
it.
You're
That's
right.
what you do. Bury it now. What's the problem? Bury it. You know what the problem is.
Right.
So did y'all pick up what happened, fam? So in regards to this video, this guy is at the gravesite of a family member, and he starts destroying the casket because he doesn't want the funeral home to recycle the casket. I ain't got no problem with that, fam. This is wild. When I first saw, what the hell is wrong with this dude? But I get it, fam. I get it. It's extremely frustrating with so many of these funeral homes and cemeteries colluding to undermine the last days, or the not the last days, but the final resting of a loved one. I mean, they do a lot of dirty, underhand stuff. And one of the things that I have always been suspicious of about funeral homes and with cemeteries, one of the things I've always been suspicious of is them taking bodies out of caskets and reselling the caskets. I've also been suspicious of them totally exhuming bodies and putting them somewhere else, or digging deeper graves and putting bodies deeper into the ground so that they can have space. There's a cemetery that is in Houston called, what is that cemetery called? Paradise Cemetery. They have a Paradise North and a Paradise South. Paradise North is located in the hood in Houston. It's in the Fofo, Acres Homes. It's located on some acres. Now, keep in mind, it's in the hood. It's directly smack dead in the hood. So they got some land out there, but they ain't got 50 plus years of bodies land. They ain't got 50 plus years of being able to bury bodies every single week, dozens of people dying and being buried at that cemetery for 50 years straight. Ever since I was a kid, that's the cemetery we've buried 90% of our family members. That's just my family. I got a large family. That's just my family, fam. And I just be thinking, why, how in the world do they have space to keep on burying bodies? How do they have space to bury all of these bodies? It seemed like to me they would run out of space by now. They still got space. And I think the way they get by, at least some of these cemeteries get by, is they'll buy a little bit more land as they go, because nobody wants to live next to a cemetery, right? So as they expand, they're able to buy a little bit more land. So they might be able to buy a half an acre here, or another acre there, and expand, right? But it still don't add up. It still don't add up. I don't trust it. That's why I'm not going to have to worry about all of that when I die, fam, because I'm being cremated. Ain't nobody going to be desecrating my body. It won't be none of that. Ain't going to be no grave or tomb robbing or none of that kind of stuff. Ain't going to be none of that. I'm cool. And I don't want anybody to feel compelled to come visit me at the cemetery on my death day or birthday or Father's Day, I think I'm gonna take that guilt off the table. I'm taking the guilt all the way off the table, because I know a lot of times people visit cemeteries out of guilt. You know, some people look forward to that. They grieve and they look forward to going to the cemetery, and it's a thing for them. And to each his own. If that's your thing, salute. I have no problem with that. But I'm just saying, for me, I don't see the need to go to a cemetery and stand over a tombstone or a gravesite and talk to somebody who's not there. It's just a body, you know, it's a shell. That's it. And if you believe in the afterlife, then you know for a fact that person ain't in that grave. So why am I going to that grave? Now, that's my thinking. Whatever your thinking is, whatever your logic is, that's yours. And, you know, I respect that. But I'm just saying, for me, I can't do it. I'm not with that, and I don't want to put that burden on anybody else. I'm cool. Cremate me, throw my ashes over, get in the helicopter, throw my ashes over. Hold on, fam. I'm gonna turn this all the way off. We don't want that to happen again. Cremate me, throw my ashes, get in the helicopter, and throw my ashes over H-Town. H-Town, baby. H-Town, and I'm good. I'm good, you know. Sprinkle a little on H-Town. Put a little bit more on Fifth Ward. But H-Town, baby, I'm straight. I'm cool with that, you know. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping at all. And let my memory, you know, let those memories that you have of me, you know, be the warmth that you need in those trying times. You know, you start going down memory lane, and you know, let that be what gets you through and hold you up. You know, yeah, I'm cool with that. But I don't know who this guy is, but he didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't see him doing anything wrong. Yeah, but I only have one problem with him destroying that casket. I don't think he destroyed it enough. I don't think he smashed it up enough. I think he should have smashed it from the sides and smashed those parts of the casket on the corners where it's harder to just take something and just knock out the dent. Like, bust it up enough, almost like a car. Like when you're in a car wreck, you got those dents in the car that can just be popped right out. Then you got those type of dents in the car that's on like the hard edges of the car and corners and stuff like that can't just simply be popped out. They got to be replaced. So I'd say make sure you get the corners next time. Get some, smash the corners and smash those handles. Knock the handles off that bad boy. You know what I'm saying? Jam it up to where you can't even open up the lid. Like bust up the locks and everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like tear it up for real. Key it. You ever heard of keying a casket? You know how you key a car? Key the casket. You know, make them have to paint it. Like, if they really want this casket, make it so bad to whereas it ain't even worth trying to reuse and recycle the casket. Make them look at it and be like, you know what? That's total. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I think that's what I would do. I'd make sure I go all the way in, man. If I'm going in, I'm going all the way in. Few shout outs before I shut it down, fam. Marcus Changed. What's up? Key to B. What it do? Justin, I see you. YB Rax. China Carter in the building. Let's see who we got. Who else we got here? We got Amazing Love. Diddy. Lady Streeter? Lady Streeter. Lady Rita. Lady S. Rita. Let's see. Gary Rouse. I decided to live today. That's what I'm talking about. Connie Harge. What up? Kev Tyson, that's my time, fam. I appreciate y'all. Jimmy Bass, what it do? Tomorrow, fam, same bad time, same bad channel, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going in. Till next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.